I'm going to set up this wonderful thing called Audacity. It's actually not wonderful. It's kind of miserable. But the idea is that perhaps we'll be able to record this entire radio show as a nice podcast and put it out there so that people can re-listen to it over and over again. Now, I recognize that I'm a bit late by a few minutes, but what you guys have to understand is that my computer decided, it's a good day to restart. It was not a good day to restart. Let me put it that way. 5 minutes before I get on and just boom, turns off on me. Now, I do have a wonderful, wonderful subject for you today. Last week, if you'll remember, I enjoyed enticing you with the wonderful story of Nightmare Moon and her brilliant villainry. Well, this week, I have something entirely different in mind. And by entirely different, I mean relatively similar, but not the same. Because that's just how this stuff kind of tends to work out in the end. Now, where was I? Yes, I'm sorry, I'm a bit flustered having to rush with my computer and everything's still loading and it's kind of a pain, but I'll do my best to go on. I'll push on for you guys. Now, if you don't mind, take a seat, kick back, grab a drink, maybe some snacks, and, put your headphones on and get ready to listen. As with before, we will have short musical interludes, but until then, today, folks, your friend Levol is going to talk to you about Discord. Ah, yes, the wonderful Discord, controller of chaos and magic and bringer of chocolate rain. Wonderful chocolate rain. Now, I know originally when I just said that I'm going to be doing something different, you guys were like, he's not going to do Discord. Oh no. But I am. I heard what you guys wanted, and I've prepared adequately. You can determine what adequately means in your own time. Now, Discord, I was debating, whether to say why Discord is a good villain, or why Discord is a good character, or why Discord is just plain awesome. Because he is. Come on, guys. And in the end, I'm pretty sure I've concluded that Discord was a good villain. But of course, he's a good villain for different reasons than the lovely Nightmare Moon. So, for me to get this across, why don't I start at the beginning, and I'll work my way forward. Now, Discord, first of all, used to be a king, a god. He is a god. He's a spirit. Supposedly, spirit. But I'll get into that. He ruled what was generally known as Equestria in the before time. And when I say the before time, I mean everything that was 1,000 years ago and, older than that. Because honestly, what other time they talk about? They never say 422 years ago. I bet that was a really interesting year, whatever year that was. But, aside from that, in the before time, Discord ruled Equestria. Then, he got overthrown by 2 really powerful alicorns. But they didn't do it by themselves. They had the help of the elements of harmony. And I just want you to remember, it's the elements of harmony that encased Discord in stone. Now, considering what Discord did and what he was probably like back then, I would imagine that the 2 princesses wouldn't have minded killing Discord. However, I don't think that they have that power. Which I'll also get into in a little bit. But he was turned to stone. Now, this is also a very big portion of the beginning that I'd like you guys to understand. Is that Discord is what we call a Dragonequus. Or a Dragonicus, or a Dragonaquus, or however you want to go about this. However you want to enunciate, pronounce, whatever. I don't care. I call him a Dragonequus. It's what he is. But when you take Dragonequus, you realize what he really is a kind of chimera. Because a Dragonequus is a subspecies of chimera. Now, you get a good look at Discord here, and you realize he's got a horse head. He's got a deer antler and like a goat horn. He's got a lot of goat parts. He's got the goat beard, but he also has a fang. He's got a goat leg. He's got a dragon lizard reptile leg. He's got a dragon's tail. He's got an eagle claw and a lion paw, a snake tongue. He's got a pegasus wing and a bat wing and a really long serpentine body. Now, when you put all that stuff together, that was one mad orgy in the forest. Seriously. Like, you know how many animals had to be in on that just to, like, have this shit happen? A lot. A lot. Now, I said that specifically also because it's the forest. And you're like, what? Levol, you're not making any sense. The forest, so what? Trees are friggin' everywhere. It's Ponyland. Well, I'm telling you, the forest is really important. Why? Because Discord, which is a chimera, is the spirit of chaos. Okay? Now, that's a two-parter. Discord the chimera. Where else have we seen a chimera, folks? If I had Jeopardy music, I'd play it for you right now, but I don't. So I'm just going to give you the answer. The manticore. The manticore is also a chimera. Quite an ingenious design, really. But that aside, we find the manticore deep in the Everfree forest. Ah, yes, Everfree. Wow, Levol has a point. Now, the Everfree, as we are told by Celestia and other, broader forces of knowledge, the Everfree has its own magic. Ooh, spooky. But, no, really, the Everfree has its own magic. It doesn't follow the natural order of things, and it can't be controlled. Of course, this is described by ponies. The real way to look at this, and excuse me if you think that this might be a bit of headcanon, I'm really just doing some transposition here. Or whatever that word is called. I don't know. Don't ask me. I clearly don't know. You see, Everfree does what it wants. Because, come on, it's a forest. What are you going to do? You're going to tell a forest what to do? I don't think so. In Everfree, we find all kinds of wild animals, and we find an old castle, a wonderfully old castle, and we find, what are generally the remnants of, old travel, old civilization. I mean, there's a bridge, there's paths. Clearly, people used to live in the Everfree, or ponies. Now, what I'm inclined to believe is that the Everfree, with its own source of magic, is a natural nature. Because when you think about it, having ponies control nature, that's not really natural. I mean, you'd think so, because it's like, oh, well, ponies are part of nature, so it's like, yeah, but no, they're using magic. I mean, Pegasus have their kind of magic, Earth ponies have their kind of magic, unicorns have straight-up magic. And that's the important part to remember, is they screw with nature. They screw with the natural order of things. Everfree is normal. Everfree does what it wants. And here's where this all comes together. Everfree does what it wants and is natural. Discord does what he wants and is natural. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? I hope so, because I'm kind of looping around in circles and squiggly lines and everything. Because what I'm getting at is that Discord is nature. Discord ruled the Everfree, the original Equestria, by being the spirit of chaos. Really, that's the spirit of nature. I mean, entropy is nature. It's just chaos. Molecules feed off of entropy. It's energy. It's everything's all over the place. Nature doesn't follow this set thing of rules. It's not controllable, real nature. Which is why Discord is real nature. He's nature incarnate. I mean, really. Chaos is just natural. And that's the brilliance. That's the first piece of brilliance behind Discord. Is that he is the original. He is the embodiment of nature. Which is why he can screw it. He can do whatever he wants. Make cotton candy clouds and chocolate rain and rabbits with giant legs. Because, heck, nature could do it if it wanted to. And it's really hard for me to be going on about this and be like, oh yeah, they just took out Discord and blah, 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 because Discord's nature and they wanted, control and this, that, the other thing, because I still think Celestia can be a bitch. But that's not the sticking point. The sticking point is, Discord, but I'm also really inclined to throw in my love of, the Celestia Discord ship. But I can't do that. Headcanon is not allowed on my radio show. Well, I mean, it is, but I'm trying to be factual here. I'm trying to get you guys to understand why Discord is a quality villain. So, while I'm rambling about this, I'm gonna, I think I'll play you guys a nice song instead. Let you guys relax a little bit instead of listen to my nut job conspiracy theories. And, when we come back, I'll start getting into, the episodes and everything. How's that sound? Does that sound good? All right. Up next, we have Stable Free playing his Discord swing jazz cover featuring Replacer. How fitting. I hope you all enjoyed that nice musical interlude there. I always find that piece to be quite enjoyable myself. Now, I've recuperated a little bit from my earlier flusterment and disheveled broadcast to now get down to the real business. Because we've already gone over the good stuff. I'm kidding. We're getting to the good stuff. We've gone over the backstory. I do enjoy some backstory, but really, the good stuff is what happens next. Now, we all know that Discord is freed from his stony prison from the bickering of the wonderfully cute CMC. But that's not important at all. In fact, half those plot points aren't important at all. You see, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. Discord comes back, and he taunts the wonderful ruler and leader of Equestria. Also, surprisingly, his former, I was going to say, killer, but stoner? I'm pretty sure that's the wrong term. His former conqueror, let's say. And he pretty much just taunts Celestia the entire time. Now, I always love a good villain who can gloat without being an idiot about it. And Discord can gloat without being an idiot about it. He does a damn good job, too, because he knows he's in control. Now, some of you might come to that and be like, well, why doesn't Celestia just blast him? Or, how do you know Discord's in control? Or, what about the elements of harmony? Well, here's the gig. See, Discord is in control. First of all, do we see Luna? No. aside from that horrible inconsistency, Luna's not around. And I mean, that's a big thing. Because the only way that Discord was defeated in the first place was with Celestia and Luna's power together. Two extremely powerful alicorns using... What was that? Using something? Oh yeah, the elements of harmony. Kind of important. See, the elements of harmony were the main factor in Discord being beaten. Without them, Discord has nothing to fear, because Discord is stronger than Celestia. Discord's stronger than Luna. Discord's stronger than both of them together. Like, they're a joke to him. It's the elements that are his problem. Why? Because it's pony magic that is really the unnatural thing. They use their controlling power to imprison nature in its stone casing. It's hard because you'd think that pony magic is natural, which it probably is, but they use it to go against the natural order, which is chaos reigning. They control everything, and I don't mean like chaos like the chocolate milk raining from the sky. I mean basic entropy. Now, the thing is Discord isn't scared. He doesn't have to be. Why? Because when he came back, what's the first thing he did? Oh yeah, he got rid of the one thing that could kill him. Kill in air quotes there. And now, the next thing you guys are probably thinking is, so why didn't he just break the elements of harmony? Well, that's the thing. He's not stronger than the elements of harmony. He's just not. I mean, there's a good chance that his presence existed outside of his stone casing for quite the time. I'll get to that next, but he was trapped there. He couldn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, the elements of harmony had him pinned. So he hid them. Cleverly. So very cleverly, I might add. Now, the thing is... What was I going to say? I don't know. Maybe I should have a script one of these days. Instead of just jotting down random notes. But, here's the thing. He's cocky. He has a right to be. He can't be beat. We've gotten that. Now he taunts the ponies. And when I say the ponies, I mean the main six. He taunts them because why not? It's fun. They can't do anything. They see the elements are gone and they're like, oh no, we have to go find them. Because they can't win without them. That's just the deal. And Discord laughs because, haha, I know where the elements are. And they're like, give them back. And it's like, oh, wow, you've just asked me for the elements. Clearly I have to return them to you. And it's just funny that they think that it would work, trying to get them back. Sucks being the good guy sometimes. Anyways, Discord's like, yeah, you know what? I'll have some fun with this. So aside from jumping from friggin' stained glass window to stained glass window with his amazing powers, his brilliant chaos powers that allow him to do anything at all. Oh my god. I'll go on about that later. But he offers them a deal. A wonderful deal, actually. And that is, if you can find the elements of harmony, you can have them. I'm not going to stop you. If you use them, if you get them, you can use them and I'll be stoned again. Oh god. Oh no. What you going to do? But he doesn't just flat out say that. No, he goes, twists and turns are my master plan. Then find the elements back where you began. And he plays it out so cleverly that the ponies fall for the idea that, oh my god, he must be in the maze. That's where he went. The elements must be in the maze. And so they run to the maze. Discord is a genius. His wit is just beyond. I mean, he's chaos. He's going to be sarcastic and he's going to be jovial and jokative. And he's going to be smart. He's going to be witty and intelligent. And that's what he is. Because, first of all, he has hid the elements away where no one would think to look. And that's obviously what you have to do. Hiding things in plain sight doesn't really always work out that well, you know? You know what I'm saying? Even though some people might consider that plain sight, I wouldn't. Dusty old book, yeah, no. But it's more that he misdirects the ponies so well that he gets to play his games. And that's what he wants. He wants games. He wants to have fun. And this is where the disjoint is. Discord wants to have fun. So how can he be a villain? He's not really doing anything out of malice. But the real concept is he is being malicious. He's ruining ponies' lives, making them miserable with his absurd ways of life. I mean, come on. As much as you guys think you would love it, I don't think you'd be too happy with cotton candy clouds and chocolate rain and giant stampeding bunnies and everybody switching personalities, people turning into dogs. You wouldn't enjoy it after, a while. You know what I'm saying? But what's even better is just they fall for it so easily. Like, oh, let's go to the maze. They must be in the maze. But before I get onto the maze, which I love, the maze is going to be the next huge part. Don't worry. I know, it feels like this whole beginning is filler before it gets to the best part. I just have one last important piece to talk about before that happens. Is what he says exactly is, twists and turns are my master plan. Twists and turns. Oh, the maze, right? That's clearly what he means. But then he says, then find the elements back where you began. That wording is the most important piece of this information because that's the brilliance. He knew that they were going to go to the maze, and he knew that they were going to find the elements at the end. He said then. And it's like it's not twists and turns on my master plan and find the elements back where you began. Like, that's not the thing. It's then. And it's not like once you've done the twists and turns, like in the maze. He's explicitly saying after you've gone through the tribulations of the maze, you'll find the elements back where you began. Not meaning to make it through, but realizing that they were going to go back and find them. And that's the brilliance behind it, is I don't think he knew he was going to be defeated. He was going to have his fun and break these ponies down. But he didn't think he was going to lose. He didn't expect what happened from Twilight. But that comes in the next portion of our little show here. Unfortunately, I have to break it up like this. Otherwise, I'd just be ranting for hours on end. So, next up, we have Scooter Blue featuring Jay Carlson and Sax Brony, and it's another wonderful, relaxing piece. So I hope you enjoy, and when we come back, we talk about everything Discord does. Eh? I think so. Folks, always good to be back. Now, oh my god, finally, we get down to the good part. We get down to what happens. We've got rid of all the backstory, we've got rid of the reasoning, we've got rid of the ideas, and by got rid of, I mean we've gone over. But now, we get to the good parts. We get to the game. We get to the labyrinth. Now, these ponies rush outside. They go to the labyrinth. They're like, oh, we have to do this quick. Discord shows up and he's like, hey, no horn, no wings, everybody's an earth pony. And that was the first move. The first move was brilliant. First of all, he puts them not only all on a relatively even playing field, he puts them all beneath him. The farthest beneath him that they can really go as far as magic. It also makes sure that they can't, cheat, per se. He gives them the rules. No horns, no wings. That's it. That's really it. What else does he need to say, And then, here's where it gets good. He splits them up. Of course you're thinking, well, duh, he splits them up. That's the only way it can go on. And it's like, no, you don't understand. He splits up a group. Now, one might think that the main six, generally, as separate characters, are all very well defined, which they are. But one might also think, so they could clearly stand on their own and do everything that they need. But what people forget is that when you have a group and you split it into its individual members, these individual members have individual personalities. And that, generally, when we focus on a pony episode, means something good. They conquer some kind of, or they address and or conquer some kind of, flaw that they have in their character. And so we think of it as a good thing, but here, it's bad. Because we have all of those character flaws, and they're uncompensated for, because they're the only pony there. And Discord, of course. Because what fun is there in making sense, right? Now, the best part about Discord is how he goes about this. Now, as I stated before, he knew that they were going to find the elements of harmony. But he was also confident enough that the elements weren't going to work. And people would first address this as, cocky villain. Incorrect. You see, what Discord wanted, what I'm inferring, of course, not like I talked to the guy. Well, I have talked to Delancey, but I have not talked to Discord, if you know what I mean. Now, what Discord wanted was a show of his power. They would find the elements, they would be incapable of using them, and Discord would win. That's checkmate. Because, where are Celestia and Luna during this? Oh yeah, both gone. This is why I say Celestia is a bitch. You see, it was the plan that the elements of harmony would be used by good old Twilight and the main six. I don't think Celestia and Luna can use the elements anymore. I think there was some kind of, transfer when Twilight was able to use them, if you understand what I'm saying. Celestia knew that she wouldn't be able to do anything, so they're both gone, in favor of the main six defeating Discord. Now, Discord wanted them to fail with the elements of harmony. That way, he could just ground it, that he was king. He was the ruler. That's what he wanted to be. He didn't necessarily want it for the power, but he wanted it for the privileges. He didn't want people to be standing in his way. He didn't want, rebellious ponies like Luna and Celestia or the main six getting on his nerves, trying to just turn him into stone again. He didn't want it. So he wanted the elements gone. And gone in the sense of they don't work. No one can use them anymore. The main six, the elements of harmony, ha! Ha! Jokes. Now, of course, that would be the fatal flaw in his plan, is that he didn't anticipate for Twilight to, reverse his powers, but that's beside the point. It was the intention. That's a huge reason of why he's a good villain. Some people might say, well, proving your power doesn't make you a good villain. That's not part of it, but it's simply how he planned to establish his dominance. He needed that uncontrolled, he didn't want rebellion. That was one thing. Celestia versus Nightmare Moon was more of a one-on-one quarrel. Discord, Celestia and Luna versus Discord was more like a nation rebellion, when you think about it. Why would two ponies go and just take over Discord if nobody else wanted them in power either? It wouldn't have worked. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they treat everyone well. They treat them well enough. It is Equestria after all. But The point being that, Discord didn't want another uprising. So he was planning. This was a plan. This was the big master plan. Make sure the elements don't work. Now, here's where it gets really good. One by one, he picks them off. Where have I heard that before? The one-by-one strategy. Oh yeah, with Nightmare Moon. And oh yeah, with so many good villains. Pick off your enemies. They're much easier to take down. It's not cowardly. You don't need to go and take them all on at once. That's just stupid. Use your wits and take them out one at a time. And how does he take them out? He exploits their greatest flaws. Or fears. They're kind of one and the same. Because the greatest flaw is their greatest fear. Now, he goes to Applejack. And he's like, Applejack, you gotta understand. Sometimes you have to lie. It's better that way. Now, these ponies become discorded after he's finished talking. Not while he's talking. After he's finished talking. Which means they've been taking the entire thing in. He is persuading them. He is talking to them. He is unleashing their greatest fears. Like, Applejack doesn't want to lose her friends. So, of course she's going to lie if she wants to keep her friends. Honesty becomes deceit. Deceitfulness. I think that's a good quality in a villain. Being able to deceive. Interesting. Anyways, I totally forget the order at which this happened, so I'm sorry if I mess up. But then there's Pinky. He screws with Pinky, I think, in one of the worst ways. Because he convinces her that everyone is laughing at her and not with her. Just think about how that would make you feel. You've been bringing smiles to people's lives forever, but then you realize that every time that you've been trying to be funny, they're just laughing at you because you're a failure. All of your friends think you're a joke. That's awful. That's terrible. And that's a brilliant villain move. Crushing your enemy's self-esteem. Laughter becomes anger. Take note that it's not sadness. You know what I'm saying? She becomes pissed as all hell. But she's not sad. And that's why, that's the Discord influence. He didn't just break her, he turned her. He went way past sadness into anger. Love it. Then we have Rarity. He just corrupts her perception of what's important in life. It's not just generosity to greed, it's completely changing her outlook. Because that Tom, the Diamond Rock, became the most important thing to her. He took away her love for her friends and replaced it with the love for, a material possession. My God. Corruption at its finest. Now, someone who's angry, deceitful, and greedy. Whew. Sounds like villain quality to me. Anybody with those traits would sound like a villain in the beginning, right? Now, we go on. Kindness. Alright, so his words couldn't turn Fluttershy. But he still got his point across when he turned her, on purpose. Arrivederci, Fluttershy. Kindness became cruelty. And, you can't really talk about the breaking of a pony's mind, because he tried. Look, he tried. That was his plan, okay? He really tried. And I just give him props for that. But Fluttershy was just too Fluttershy. Now, cruel, angry, deceitful, greedy. Wow. Sounds like a great villain, actually. And, of course, there's Dash. Now, I'm going to try and speed this. See, Dash, she takes the wings. She flies off. She broke the rule. Now, Discord didn't say that he wasn't going to, talk to them. I mean, he didn't really do much. He just talked. They kind of did everything themselves. He broke Rainbow Dash's sense of, kind of sense of what's important, but also just sense of self, and just, she was scared. She had to go save Cloudsdale, right? That was kind of the idea. So, basically, she breaks the rules and screws everything up. And she goes from loyalty to what is self-preservation. It's not just betrayal. It's not really betrayal. She's just taking her loyalty from her friends and being loyal to herself. She wanted to save her home, which you'd think, oh, you know, she's being loyal to her home. But no, she's really protecting herself. Remember, she was relaxing on the cloud. She's like, Cloudsdale is safe. It's okay, guys. I'm good. Self-preserving, greedy, deceitful, angry, and cruel. Sound like villain qualities? I hope so. Because lastly is magic. Twilight. After breaking all of her friends and saying the game has been won, he just lets Twilight go. He doesn't have to do anything. He lets her just break herself down. She's tired of her friends being not her friends. And she becomes alone. Twilight is the element of magic. Magic is friendship. Friendship is magic. The opposite? Aloneness. All alone. It's awful. That must be an awful feeling. I put too much backstory into this to go in depth. I may have to do a little extra on this the next time, but I just want you to think about this. They're alone, focused on self-preservation, they're greedy, they're deceitful, they're angry and cruel. You want to know why Discord is the good villain? The good villain. Yes, he's the good villain. One of the good villains. The best villains, in fact. He turns the heroes into the villains. That was his plan. His plan backfired because Spike and Twilight. But his plan was to turn the heroes into the villains. I love it. I love it. There's nothing you can do now. When all the people who could save you are the ones who are now oppressing you? What do you have left? Nothing. The equestrian people would have been Discords. Save the main character shtick, Discord won. And I love that. I also would like to imagine, though don't quote me on this because my head canon again, that these ponies keep thinking about these things. That they know. They know what they've done. They know what they thought. Must have been terrible. So yes, I conclude. You may have thought that this was turning into something about Celestia or Lunar, the main six. But in all actuality, it was about Discord. Discord in himself is other people. That's just what he is. He's chaos. He's nature. He's the spirit of everything. And that's why he's a good villain. He's unpredictable, uncontrollable, yet has an amazing plan. His wit is beyond belief. His style is full of finesse. And, I mean, come on. His personality is brilliant. There's no other word to describe it. I can't keep saying brilliant, but I have to because it is. That's just how it goes. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I didn't address, Keep Calm and Flutter On, where Discord becomes the anti-hero. He was a villain, he's a hero now, but he's not really the best guy, he's just kind of reformed, and I didn't want to address that because it's not part of why he's a good villain. His villainship, villainhood, I don't know. Him being a villain ended when he was defeated the second time. He did not come back a villain in Keep Calm and Flutter On. He came back a character. And so I really can't include that. But overall, Discord, great villain. If you like any of that backstory stuff, give me some feedback because I put a lot of that in there and I'm sure I could have, shortened it up for you a little bit, but I kind of like explaining things. I think that it was very important in explaining Discord, and, If you didn't, I'd like to know so that I can fix that. So I can get you guys something better on the next run. Speaking of the next run, I believe that I may as well just make this a series and talk about Chrysalis. Because Chrysalis. So be prepared for Chrysalis next week. I really hope you tune in. I know some of my drabble is rather boring, but we do have some nice music. And speaking of nice music, I think I'm going to end Leisure Time with Levol today with Pony Mafia as performed by Knights of the Crystal Empire featuring Nissus. It's a nice chill track with some quality rapping on it. I always love to throw some rapping in here. Rapping is one of the best forms of music, in my opinion. And, of course, if you didn't hear this here or you want to hear this again, it should be recorded and uploaded to YouTube in no time. I thank you all very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy our musical piece. Levol out.
Work at the bar, sipping Applejack, chilling with the mares, no cares until I'm back on track. Unlost call from the boss, he's got some new task. A hit, arms trade, drug deal, no questions asked. 4-3-2, Colts 1 over all the guns. I got the drugs dealt, and this has got the hit done. Time to get some things are gonna get fun. Walk up in the building, hear him scream, oh shit son, call me